Would you pay over $500,000 to be a part of Bitcoin history? Someone did. And what was the value of the transaction they were trying to send? That I think is as equally as surprising. We're also going to talk about the commonalities between Bitcoin and the Vikings. I hope that your curiosity has been piqued. But before I get into that, yes, I know I'm sunburned. First day back in Indonesia. Let's move on. So first I'm going to talk about the person who paid $507,000, their transaction to be included into the block number 840,000 for Bitcoin, the halving block of 2024. Someone paid a transaction fee of $507,000 and the value of their actual transaction was 70 cents. So that is interesting. Yes. So it did work. It got included and they paid the price for it. So now congratulations, you are a part of Bitcoin history until in the next 4 years when there's another halving. I wonder how much transaction fees are going to be paid there. But also talk about transaction fees being expensive. This one that I was talking about just now was voluntary. But a lot of people are wondering why it's so expensive to transact on Bitcoin Network for the past week. Because of runes. And here's where the Vikings tie in. Runes is referring to rune stones, which the Vikings did. They used to engrave messages and symbols onto stones that they would use for communication. And it's very similar to what runes is on the Bitcoin blockchain, in that you're essentially engraving on a Satoshi to create a token. A lot of people learned about ordinals last year when NFTs started rolling out on Bitcoin through the use of ordinals. Again, you're like inscribing on a Satoshi or on a Bitcoin to make an NFT with ordinals. But with runes, it is to generate just a regular token. So very similar to what we're seeing on the Ethereum blockchain. Now, possibly there is going to be markets where these tokens that are generated on Bitcoin can be traded against each other. And this is all, it's always been a possibility of Bitcoin for these types of things to be built on, but now people are actually starting to do so. And the way that the blocks and the storage and the way that the Bitcoin network is functioning, this type of activity is affecting the price of transaction fees. It is a lot more activity happening, and you have to be competitive if you want your transaction to be completed in a timely manner. You're going to have to pay for it. So that's what's happening on runes, on Bitcoin. So if you're like me, you're wondering why do we have to spend so much money to send a Bitcoin? That's why. And if you want even more timely information and thoughts on what's happening in the crypto space, for example, Toby tweeted earlier today, before you're watching this video, why Bitcoin transactions are getting so expensive. You can follow him at Sir Crypto Tips on Twitter. Highly recommend. Not a biased opinion whatsoever. And if you're like, wow, I didn't know Bitcoin transaction fees were so expensive, probably because you haven't been using Bitcoin. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying get your coins off of an exchange and into a hardware wallet where you control, because I think that is a huge indication of people who are not well versed in what the transaction activity is happening on the blockchain of your cryptocurrencies. If you want to know which cryptocurrencies Tobe and I are holding, which ones we're transacting in, buying and selling, you got to check out learningcrypto.com, home of the CT Club. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you tune in tomorrow for tomorrow's video. Hit like and subscribe. See you then.